At some point, most of us quietly placed ourselves right at the bottom of our own priority list. Not intentionally, not consciously, it just kind of happens. You know, that gym session, it gets pushed back. That walk doesn't happen. That rest day we've been promising ourselves for weeks just becomes another work day. There is always something more important. I don't know, a report, a deadline, someone else's need, someone else's emergency. And slowly, without ever even saying it out loud, we start living as though we are optional. I see this constantly. If there's time left over, we'll look after ourselves. If there's energy left in the tank, we'll do that training session. If there's money left in the pot, eventually we'll invest in our health. But there rarely is. And that's because modern life is perfectly designed to consume everything that you have, and then it'll ask you for just a little bit more. Let's take something extremely simple as an example. You plan that gym session, then a work commitment appears, and down it goes in your list of priorities. Without question, that gym session is moved. We don't negotiate. We don't even pause. We just kind of assume that our body will wait, as if it's not the actual thing doing the work in the first place. I have coaching clients that will tell me that investing in their health is far too expensive, but then in the same breath, they'll go and book an expensive holiday, or they'll spend hundreds on a shopping trip. Not because they're greedy, but because they are chronically stressed. And instead of removing the cause of that stress, they choose to buy temporary relief from it. So we'll pay to escape the consequences, but not to address the root cause. That's not a financial issue. That's simply a value issue. And here's where it gets really interesting. If your car needs work, you'll pay for it. You do not debate it. You don't say, we'll see how it goes. Because how else would you get to work? And yet, we kind of forget that the most important vehicle that we own is the one that we live inside. This body is what gets us to work. It's what does the work. It's what gets us home. It's what gets us through those stressful events in life. It's what gets us through life. Yet we treat it as if it were disposable. People work themselves to the bone for a promotion, for a title, for the approval of others, only to end up chronically ill, burnt out, having strokes, a heart attack. And then suddenly, everything that they sacrifice themselves for becomes kind of meaningless. Because without your health, nothing else matters and nothing else functions. When you're in that hospital bed, fighting for your life, what car is sat in your driveway no longer seems to matter, I can assure you. So here's the question that I keep coming back to. Why do so many of us hold such a low opinion of ourselves that we will quite literally invest in anything or anyone else before we even think about investing here? I mean that, for real. What is that all about? Why do we choose to forget what had to happen just for us to exist? Millions of variables, millions of moments just to have been conceived, just to have been successfully birthed, and just to survive. I mean, right now, as I speak to you and as you listen to this, millions and millions of processes are happening inside you just to keep you alive. That's not ordinary. That is a miracle that we have normalized. Now, this isn't about obsession. It's not about ego. It's not about vanity. It's just simply about recognizing that you are not the afterthought in your own life. Looking after your health is not selfish. In fact, it's foundational. Because when you collapse, everything else collapses with you. This isn't about doing more. It's simply about placing yourself back where you were meant to be, at the centre. Not above everybody else, but certainly not beneath them either. If this landed, stay with me. This channel is not about motivation. It's about restoring internal signal. And if you are ready to start treating your body, your mind, your well-being as the non-negotiable foundation in your own life, and not that optional extra which can keep going down the list, you're going to find ways to go deeper through the links below and through my other content. But start by asking a really, really simple question today. What would change in my life if I stopped treating myself as expendable? Now I'm chatting too much. Like, comment, share, smash that subscribe button, you know what to do. Thanks for listening. Peace.